Hi, everybody. I'm here with Manuela. How are you, Manuela?
I am very fine. Thank you, Leah. Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Now, you contributed to the advanced cancer subject for the textbook, which I'm so grateful for. But before we get stuck into your chapter, let's talk a little bit about your history and how did naturopathy find you?
Oh, well, absolutely. How naturopathy found me as
Mm.
absolutely. Look, I think it was just a match made in heaven. My background was something completely different, and I started practice because I was interested in finding out the root cause of some issues. Some of my issues were about digestive, common things that mainstream medicine didn't have an answer for. And then I started studying. I had fantastic mentors. I'm still forever grateful to those people who really inspired me. And then I started with one patient with cancer, and there was no turning back after that. I really wasn't sure whether this was going to be for me. It's a very demanding and very complex subject, but somewhat great. Naturopathic oncology found me, and I found it. And ever since, it's been a great ongoing learning and servicing a whole lot of people, unfortunately, diagnosed with cancer. But yeah, and it's philosophy, really. It's about contributing to welfare and improving energy and improving resilience and giving the right tools. So I'm glad and privileged to be in a position
Mm.
where I am now.
Mm. And I mean, in your chapter, you wrote this amazing section around survivorship, which is not really something that ever gets discussed. It's, someone gets cancer, you treat them, and that's sort of all there is. But, so much of your contribution was around, well, no, they actually can survive from their cancer. And how do we best support them and service their needs moving forward?
Absolutely. So naturopathic oncology fits perfectly fine in a survivorship period that basically starts by the time the person is discharged from hospital. So cancer survivors, or better named cancer thrivers, are people really who embrace wellness, review perhaps issues and blockages, as I call them, but anyway, traumas and imbalances they unfortunately suffer with prior to a diagnosis of cancer. So it's resetting them or giving them the tools to reset themselves in such a way that there is no reoccurrence of the disease and they keep themselves well. There are millions and millions of people out there who have been either suffered or they've gone through cancer, and they are surviving, but they're doing better than that. They really are reviewing their lives in the better
Mm.
possible way. And this is where naturopathy comes in, management and helping through with evidence-based. Really a great area of intervention for whoever has interest in this field.
Mm. I mean, you've practiced in this area and you've specialized in this area for such a long period of time now. What do you think you've learnt the most from working with these types of people with these sorts of health concerns?
Well, what I learned is, I mean, I'm in an ongoing learning.
Always.
As is always, I'm student forever. But what I learned is that really people are a lot more engaged into their own welfare. They come from a position of confusion and fear and disengagement in a sense, but they want to become engaged. They want to learn. And so evidence-based is, once it is explained to them, when it is made available, you have wonderful, people really into it, right? So naturopathic oncology is a field that again engages people, makes them more aware, and really empowers them. And I think that what I learned all of it is how empowerment through education, through contribution, has significant, great ongoing wonderful things come from there. So it is one that I've learned. I learned about resilience. I learned about empathy. I learned about really the human nature. I suppose you do see all colors really once there is that connection. I also learned that there's a lot more learning and a lot more need from naturopathy to become, once again, evidence-based, to become at service Also learned how to deal very much so on a daily basis with medical oncologists, with general practitioners, on behalf of patients. And when that conversation occurs, it's actually fine, absolutely fine. So, yeah, like I said, watch the space. Cancer survivorship is huge, and it's here to stay.
Yeah. And what a wonderful contribution you're making to it. And I'm so privileged and honored that we can include your contribution and to help guide, other naturopaths in this space, because so much that we can give of value, which is wonderful. Sure. So thank you so much for everything that you've done, Manuela. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.